Hello, everybody, and thank you very much for sharing your lunchtime with us. My name is Purya Amini. I'm a CEO and founder of Risklick, which is a spin-off company of University Bern and Clinical Trial Unit University of Bern, which will develop the Deduklick solution in a joint collaboration with the University of Bern. As it communicated already with a plan, the first 10 minutes would be dedicated to the story behind Deduklick, which will be presented by Nikolai, Beatrice, and Doris, who also very actively involved and in the process of the development. And then we will have a live Deduklick demo, which Nikolai walk you through that how you can deduplicate your data set with the Deduklick and how it works, how the new feature of the Deduklick, how the user management tool works, that you can manage the user within your organizations, payment, invoices, packages, and how the process works in general. And then after that, we will have 30 minutes Q&A. Panel discussion, that if you have any question or any concern, that we would be happy to discuss it here with the expert. Either, as I mentioned already, that either you can send it in a chat. I will collect the questions, try to cluster the question, and I will ask the right person from the expert panel the question, or if you would like to express yourself, please raise your hand, then we give you the stage. You can unmute yourself and ask your question. Okay, let's go to the first session of the workshop, would be the story behind Deduklick. Then I would be happy to give the floor to Beatrice to start.
Thank you, Purya. Can we have the next slide, please? So it's quickly told, the story behind Deduklick. It started in summer 2018, where we had really a huge amount of search requests. They have been doubling from this time on, and we had no increase of library staff. And so it meant for us that we have to become more efficient. And we performed a lot of overtime hours. And fortunately, our coffee machine was not situated directly in the library. So I always had to go to the social hub to take my coffees, where I came in contact with Nikolai Borisov, a data scientist from our in-house research team specialized in artificial intelligence technology. And I was complaining about this time-consuming and laborious work, the duplication work, always at the end of a thorough literature search project. Because before we can send the Endnote library to the research team, we have to remove all duplicates in it. And Nikolai was listening carefully and then told me, maybe I can help you. Show me what you are doing. Next slide, please. This is our manual multi-step deduplication process. In Endnote, you can see that we have 12 steps. We change the preference order 12 times, starting with a rather narrow way. So step 1 and 2, there we don't have to control by eye. We can just delete duplicates and rely on the Endnote. But starting with the step 3, when we lower the criteria, then you can read on the right side that some checking might be helpful, that we have to watch out for false duplicates that arise with blank page numbers. And the more we lower the criteria, the more eye checking is necessary. We usually check page numbers if available or DOIs. And the most hard step is the step 12, where we sort our EndNote library according to the titles. Then we widen the column and see whether a kind of pattern shows us additional duplicate records. Please, next slide. So this eye checking is necessary to find out some really tricky problems. Because there are problems with the journal title abbreviations, as you can see in the first example. This is even a duplicate, an internal duplicate of Cochrane Central, once written out and once in an abbreviation. Then Cochrane sometimes adds some suffixes in journal titles, which makes it complicated for deduplication. Another problem are author names, how they are spelled out, or special characters. And a very tricky one is the last one, where embase.com indexes the English version of a publication with the English journal name, whereas Medline indexes the Chinese journal title. And you can even see that page numbers are different because the Chinese version is shorter than the English translation. And in these cases, we have to go into the record to check the abstract. And of course, this is time consuming. Farhad Shokranei lists 16 more points in his blog why EndNote cannot find some of the duplicate titles. And these are only tricky problems, but we have also to think additionally of mistakes coming directly from Embase or Medline, typos or false page numbers, or sometimes false DOIs, or page numbers not in the correct field, so they are not transferred into EndNote in the correct section. A huge workload. And I have prepared a small table. If you could go forward. This is a large data set. After the 11 steps, we still have 9,500 records in this EndNote library. And now by checking the titles, I could identify 26 more true duplicates in 40 minutes. And then I stopped because it's endless if you have to scroll down such a huge amount of records. That's why the question arises, eye checking, is it worth the effort? And if we look at the next slide, on the left-hand side, you can read or reread our way of deduplication. It's based on Leeds University Library, where we had a course with a team of Judy Wright and have reused her steps. It's a reliable manual method, requires time and accuracy. And probably you have read or know the Brammer method, a faster method, because it's published by his team. They first harmonize the page numbers coming from Medline before they start deduplication. It's a reliable manual method, but requires some training and some expertise. So our hope was that machines or a machine could be trained according to our manual step and learn from the Brammer methods and help us lift this burden, decrease this amount of manual labor work. And now listen to Nikolai, how he solved our problem.
Thank you, Beatrice. So I'm glad to present you the solution, Deduklick, how to solve this complex problem in an automated and methodic way. For this, we implemented several steps using the natural language processing technology. And as a first step, you know that all this metadata from heterogeneous sources have different formats, like the journal names can be in the long version or short version, or the pages. Also, titles sometimes have little small differences, but it's the same publication. So as a first step, we normalize all this data, like the title, the authors, journals, story, and so forth. And in addition, we take also data from the URL and accession number, which is more relevant for the clinical trials records. We also support in the deduplication tool. Also, some titles, we unify them that the non-English are translated to English. And in addition, we detect the source of the publication based on the metadata we have, like it's from Embase, PubMed, or other sources, CINAHL, or we will show you in the later slide. Currently 25 sources. We support automatic detection. And in the second step, we run several algorithms, like automated algorithm to calculate the similarity between all these references. We're using Levenshtein distance. And as a second step, we use a rule-based validation based on the 12 steps you saw before to label if a detected reference is a duplicate to another one. And the last step is that we generate all the files and the reports, and namely the dataset with the deduplicated with the unique records, and a second dataset with the duplicates we identified. And in addition, the flowchart diagram, you can see the duplication, the amount of references assigned to database sources before and after the duplication, as well as a transparent a report where you can see the which is the original and which is the duplicate reference. And all this is published to systematic review. So in this paper, as I mentioned before, you see the databases we currently support for our customers at the University of Bern. So basically, this is a list which not only shows you the database names, but also their order. So if we find two papers who are identical from Medline and Embase, for instance, we keep the unique one, the Medline as a unique one, and remove the Embase as a duplicate. And also, if we here identify, for instance, PubMed paper, one is from PubMed, the other one is from Web of Science, we keep the PubMed because it has a higher rank in this in this table. I can show you in the next slide. So how does it work? It's a simple process. Basically, when you export all your references from Endnote to a RS file format, you just upload this file into Deduklick, and in a few minutes, after having a coffee, you can just come and download your result. And in this result, you will find the files I told you in the previous slide, basically the two RS files with a unique and duplicates dataset, the flowchart, and the deduplication report. So you here, so this is, we very invested time to make the process very easy for you. So just you have these two steps. And in the next slide, I will just show you how examples of the reports. Here you see the example flow chart. Basically, the order I told you before is also represented in the order of the database sources and the amount of references identified with this meta database source before the duplication. Here, 14,000 references in total, and you see all in the orange the identified references per database source, and after the duplication we have 9,140, and again you have the same order of metadata of the databases, metadata, and you see the amount of references which are duplicated kept. The duplicates report is the next very important report. We also were thinking to show a transparent report to see what was the original publication and what was the duplicate. And here you see this example of 6 references, and they are clustered to unique and duplicate. And you see here we identified the 2 identical references where on the name of database we have one for Medline and one for Embase. And since the rank of Medline is higher than Embase, we keep the Medline is unique and Embase is duplicate. And here another example below is Embase and Web of Science. So since the Embase has a high rank to Web of Science, we keep the Embase reference as a unique, and the other one as a duplicate. How we evaluated the efficiency of Deduklick is we got 8 different heterogeneous datasets from 2 different groups at the University of Bern. And for us, it was also important to offer the duplication also for clinical trials, which have different metadata in comparison to the publications. So in these 8 heterogeneous datasets, we had example datasets with only clinical trials, then only with publications, and with mix of both. And the amount of data is 45, which is for the clinical trials, for instance, so few references, to 8,314 references provided for the duplication. And the average number of references in these 8 datasets was 8,078. And for the control, to compare it to human level performance, we took the original dataset before and after duplication from the both groups. And what we measure is the efficiency from the human expert performance versus the Deduklick, the duplication performance. So the results were very encouraging for us. And so in the menu steps of the duplication step, we saw that there were in total 11 publications which were accidentally removed from the experts when they do the manual duplication. We found these reports in the data by comparing the file before and after manual duplication. We sent these files to the experts for validation, and they approved it. And with Deduklick, we didn't miss any original publication. So the recall metric is here, the amount of duplicates the experts and Deduklick algorithm found. So in average, over all 8 datasets, the experts removed around 89% of the duplicates, and with Deduklick, it took 99.5% of the duplicates. The precision metric shows you that you don't miss any original publication after the duplication. And here, we don't miss any original publication, so we have 100% precision. And the expert missed this 11 publications, so 99.95%. And the F1 score is just the harmonic mean between recall and precision. Another important fact is that experts, they need in average 70 minutes, depending on the amount of data they have in the dataset to deduplicate. And in Deduklick, we have in average 1 minute to run all this deduplication. And Yes. Here is, I think, Doris.
Okay, thank you, Nikolai. Can you just go back to that slide with all the names of the databases, because I would like to add here something. Yes, right here. This is, of course, we chose these databases, and we also chose which ones we wanted to have ranked higher. This is completely up to you how you want to customize that. So that's a good thing with working with Nikolai, because he always hears what we need, and then he customizes it exactly as to our needs. And this is what you see here is just our needs, but maybe you have other databases that you work with, or you think that the Embase metadata is better than the Medline metadata. So it's completely customizable. It does not have to be in that order as you see it here. So now you can please go forth to the slide. Yes. So from the librarian side again, what we expect from a technical solution, of course, it should be at least equal to our performance or better. And then, of course, it should be reliable, and it should be tested. And that's what we have been doing the last 2 years. It's not just Beatrice and me who were testing, but also other librarians, and then giving feedback, and then Nikolai would develop again, and then we tested again the new features and the better features, performance. And so it was really a very intensive time till we got to the product that we have now. So it is really reliable and tested, as Nikolai has already said. What is also very important to us is that it works transparent. So we always can see what Deduklick has been doing. So we have that report of what has been identified as a unique record, what has been identified as the duplicate. And the good thing is it's on the same list, because sometimes you just have an Endnote library of the duplicates and an Endnote library with the unique records, and then you cannot compare. It's very difficult to compare. So this report that we're getting, it's very, very helpful also for the researchers to just go over it and just have a look. And that builds also trust in how it works. Then it should be easy to use. I mean, there's no point in having a tool that you first have to invest hours and hours to install it or to see how it works. It's just very easy to use with these 2 steps, as Nikolai already pointed out. It is time saving. We made, in the last year, for example, we could save over 100 hours with our systematic review projects in not having to deduplicate ourselves in the manual way. And then it is customizable, and that is very great, because we thought, well, if it's customizable, then it just not meeting just our needs. It can be out there in the community of other librarians having to deal with deduplication. And then it's also scalable. So it can grow, because this tool is made by developers like Nikolai, who will stay in the market. So their Deduklick is now a product that is here to stay, and it will grow with the needs of the community. And then, of course, it needs to offer help and support. But sometimes you're running into problems, or we see something that we cannot understand, and then it's always good to have someone that you can write to and that can give you an answer. Next slide, please. Okay, now to the manual steps. You have seen that it's just 2 steps, upload and download, but you can just upload a RIS file. So there is the work or the step to export your Endnote library to an RIS file and then import the deduplicated RIS file back into Endnote. So what you can upload RIS and you will get the download of an RIS file. So this is something very easy to do, but we still have made a step-by-step manual in case you don't know how that works. And next, on the other side, please. Yeah, and then there is an option that, you know, before Deduklick was able to detect the data source itself, we had that that option to add the database name to each group of references before we did the export to RIS file. It still has a use, and this is if you know, sometimes we want to know, or the researchers want to know, so where have the studies that they included actually come from? What database was the source? And so the RIS file that you re-import in Endnote does not make the groups anymore, because many of us do the groups before deduplication. So we say, okay, from Medline there are 1,000, and from Web of Science there are 900 or whatever. And when the file comes back, is re-imported, the groups are not there anymore. So what you can do to restore the groups is to before deduplication, or before deduplication, you just add the database names to each group of reference. And how that is done is also outlined in a step-by-step manual that you can find with this, you know, if you photograph this code here. Oh, next slide. Okay, so my last slide is the conclusion after this 2-year test phase. We have used Deduklick at least, I think, about 60 times or 70 times. It really unburdened our daily work. It worked every time, which was really nice. And as Beatrice outlined in the beginning, we did a lot of overtime, and because it's just the two of us, and we're even part-time workers, and we are doing maybe 50 to 60 systematic review searches per year. And that is not our only task, by the way. So it frees time for other tasks. Next. It is less error prone compared to manual methods. And I don't mean that we are not working accurately, but I mean that we are humans, and sometimes we have a headache, or sometimes we are just stressed out and may overlook a unique record or a duplicate. So it is very, very good in the performance. And as I said, the cooperation with the developers was very good and easy. So bottom line, next point. Bottom line, our expectations, all our expectations have been met. And this was for us really the highlight of the last year, that a tedious work task is now just something we can do under a minute, which is really nice.
Yeah, thank you very much, Beatrice, Doris, Nikolai, for the nice presentation. Yeah, at first, our approach for developing the Deduklick was really customer-centric approach, and then we would like to continue this approach. Basically, we would love to get your feedback and your challenging cases that the Deduklick cannot find it. Therefore, then we can improve our tool, and always there is a room for improvement. This is our belief. And then with your feedback and suggestion, criticism, and all, then we hope we continue the way that we started, and then go to further improvement. Before I go to question, I really thank you for the kind messages that you send it to the chat. That seems that you like the tool as well as we do. And then I would like, before we go to the live demo, Then maybe I ask you some question that raised during the presentation. The first question is, are all fields maintained in the RIS upload to RIS download?
Yes, we keep all the fields which are imported as RIS into Deduklick, and when we export back to when you create the duplication file, and with the duplicates, we keep all these fields like originally provided, uploaded into Deduklick.
Okay. Then the second question, have you compared it to other automated deduplication tools such as the Systematic Review Accelerator or some application on the R platform?
Yeah, we did a few experiments to see what the other tools do, but our requirements were different, which we got from our customers, that they want one-time solution, one-click solution. Basically, they upload the RIS, they got as a result of the duplicated file, and they can immediately use it. They don't need to again manually decide if it's a duplicate or not. And with the other tools, we didn't saw these features available, like the transparency report, or that it's working. Still, it needed human efforts to finalize the duplication process. And also for clinical trials, we didn't see that it works. And the Deduklick is working for both for clinical trials and for publications. So we don't miss any original publication.
And I think Doris has a comment to add. Yes, please.
Yeah, maybe I can add that we just wanted to get rid of the eye checking or checking by eye. So what we saw with other tools is that you still have to do quite a bit of eye checking, because they're kind of delivering the most probably they are duplicates, and then maybe a section maybe they are duplicates, and it might be with the test we done that you end up with 4,000 records that you still have to check by eye after the deduplication, and that was just not an option for us.
Yeah, cool. And a challenging question for you, Nikolai. That's we always ensure that we keep the records that have an abstract included and deleting the one without. Is that a possibility here to ensure to keep the records with the abstract when possible?
Currently, we decide based on the source. If it has abstract or not is not now part of the decision. But this could be a customized solution that, in addition, if the abstract is available in one reference and not in the higher ranked, that we keep the one with the abstract. But currently, we keep it simple. Like we have this list with the ranking according to the databases with the most. This is the wish list, how the librarians see what a database is more important over the other, like quality of reference. So there are lots of metrics, and this is how we do it now. Yes, but abstract is currently not a part of the decision if it's a duplicate, which we label as a duplicate or as a unique.
Yeah, just for the sake of the time from the panel expert, please keep the answers short, because for the sake of the time, I mean, then always I think we have the email address here. You can reach out with the email address if you want, and then we would be happy to discuss with you in detail. Any limits in the amount of citation that Deduklick can process?
No, currently we don't have any limits. We limited the upload file size 200 megabyte each. So with this, I think you can upload more than 1 million references. It's possible it will take, of course, a little bit longer because it's such an amount of data. But in average, we saw that librarians use around 10,000 references up to 20,000. So in this range, this is not, it's around a few minutes of duplication. Yeah.
Thank you.
So, but there is no upside.
Sorry to interrupt you. We are getting a lot of questions. I try at least to touch to have time to touch the questions. Is it possible to export back to RIS so it can be put back into a citation management software?
Yes, yes. The artifact that we export always to RIS. The input is RIS and the outputs are also RIS formats.
Have you used it when doing updates of searches? I think yes. That's an answer. Yes. Yeah, I think this is already answered, that if they want to know if all the fields in a RIS file are maintained, I think yes, that would be the answer. And how would it work with the systematic review update when you're rerunning a search? Yeah, this is can you just briefly share your experience when you update a systematic review? When you use?
Yes, we do it according to the Brammer methods. We rerun the search strategies again, then subtract the Endnote library from the new found references. And of course, then when you redo the searches, you have first to deduplicate with Deduklick. And next step is then removing the old references found by the first search.
Yeah, thank you. And can it be, I'm not sure if I understand correctly this question, can it be used to compare two separate files? Yeah, if you can just clarify the question in the chat would be great, because
hello.
Hello. Yes.
This is Kavita Kotari speaking, consultant for the World Health Organization. What I'm asking is similar to what you mentioned right now for the update. So first you would do the updated search and you would remove the duplicates from there. And then how would you compare and remove the older files from there? Would you upload both those files into Deduklick to compare both those files, so that you can remove the duplicates from there? That was my question.
Okay, we can send you the paper published by Vishal Brammer and his team. Now we just deduplicate the new search and then load in the same library the old records, and then we use a new technique to compare old and new search according to these Brammer methods. I can send you the paper or put it in a chat.
Perfect. I think that's also a very interesting question. Will it be possible to upload RIS file directly from the database instead of importing to the Endnote first, for those of us who don't have access to the Endnote? I think this is a feedback. We also got it from our partner and collaborators. We are working on this feature, and soon, at the moment, is not possible, but it will be available soon, that you can download it from the RIS in a RIS format, and then you can directly put it in the Deduklick. Then could Deduklick combine RIS file export from diff? This is the same question. Does Deduklick read information from the database based on the Endnote import? Sorry. Based on the Endnote import filters created for them?
Deduklick is just an atomic tool that you just provide arrays with all the references, and it deduplicates it automatically for you. If you want to have additional data curation, additional data management, you need to use Endnote to synchronize the additional labels or content of the references. But then from Endnote, you export the arrays file just, and we deduplicate it. So yeah, this is a one-click solution, only for the duplication. It masters the duplication task, this time-consuming task.
Yeah, just I try to finish, then we go to the live demo. Yeah, they ask about the cost. I will present you after the live demo. Hopefully we have time. I will show you how the process works and so on. I think we can move on to the live demo that Nikolai show us in a reality how it works. And yeah, then would be happy to after that have a question and then show you how the registration process look like, and then the other remaining issues. Just Nikolai, for the to have the time, we have 17 or 18 minutes left.
Okay, I'll show you just this is the new layout we are working on. It's currently on test, and as I told you, as a first step, you have the option to drag and drop a file here or upload it manually, like you did it before as a trial user, hopefully. And so you upload your file, it's ready, and then you see here that the processing starts, and you can take just a coffee and come back after 2-3 minutes to get your result. Because we deduplicate in 1 minute, but then after the duplication is ready, we generate all the reports you need, like the duplication report, the flowchart. We package everything in a zip file and provide you over the system for a download. And in 1-2 minutes, okay, let's wait here when it's ready. Because you will not test, you are testing, but I can show you in this meantime also your dashboard to manage your duplication users. You can use the tool that here in the dashboard you will be able to manage the users who can access the Deduklick. So basically you can just add a new user and define the name, the role, and also the usage limit, which is important when you buy a package, let's say for 50 deduplications, that you can define that one user can use only 10 deduplications. And then in the subscription part, you can have overview of your packages you already bought and used, like 25, 50, 50. And also you have the invoices, so you have a good overview about your what you paid, which last time. And in the dashboard, you have an overview of the uploaded files for duplication. We will improve. We're still working on the layout. Don't worry. Here you see also the amount of users registered into this institution, the current usage of the package, 34% already used, and the package is for 1 year. You have the remaining time, and yes, the total uploads. So basically, you have this overview. Let's go for you to maintain the users, to define as an organization, simplify all this process needed to use the tool.
Yeah,
now it's complete.
Can I comment on the user management tool, Nikolai? Just a comment. I mean, the user management panel is your panel that you can use your Deduklick and deduplication. Basically, here, one person in an organization will have an admin role, which the admin will be able to add, delete the user, allocate the number of the duplication to a user, and also see all the subscription, all the package that you bought, the payment, invoices, and everything will be managed here for an organization. But for a single user, that they want to use it 1 time, 2 times, they will not have access to the user management panel, and then they have only access to the Deduklick, and they will pay at the Deduklick and then use it per usage. Yes, please.
Yes, now you saw here we have this file uploaded. And then it's ready. I downloaded it already, but yes, just to show you that when you download it again. So basically, when you download the result, you will see this folder structure. On the deduplicated, you
Can
have the RS file.
can you maximize a little bit your window? Is too small?
Zoom. Yeah. Okay. I think zooming. Yeah.
No, that's okay. That's
fine.
thank you.
So basically, in this zip file, you receive 4 artifacts as a result. And the deduplicated, you see your RS file with all the unique references, and another RS file with the duplicates. And here for this file, you will see also we have the duplication flowchart. Basically, I show you in the presentation before and after the duplication, ordered by the database sources, and also the duplicates report. Let me zoom it a bit. So basically, this is what you get, this report, and so you can always have a transparent view of what is duplicated and what is kept as a unique reference. So this is from my side.
And also the file, the original file deduplicated, and also
Yes.
that they can download.
We keep this data for several months, but yeah, we can always discuss in the SLA for how long you want to keep the data.
And then there will be also a video training how to use will be also available on the platform, and also under the button help. Whenever you have a question, either you can send us an email, write in a chat, or also you can watch the video or download the manual here. We would be happy to support you. Okay, good that we have 10 minutes left. There is 2 questions, Nikolai, before we go there. Is it possible to also remove the deduplicate RIS files?
Yes, the files which the duplicates, you mean?
Yeah, that's
yeah. Basically, you get the structure, but you can only use the files with the unique reference. You can skip also. But for the transparency purpose, we keep this file for you and also generate these reports. But you can only just use the files under the duplicated.
And there's another question. Yeah, there's another question that I can answer. I can see an upload limit, for example, 50. Can you please give a detail? Yeah, it depends on the package. I will show you the package that you can buy. Depends on the package that you have a certain amount of the duplication. No, I have keep. Don't go too fast. And then you have a certain amount of the duplication that you can use for within your organization. That was the limit. We are finalizing the new phase of Deduklick, the user management panel, and all the aspects, and this would be at the moment is under the test and validation, and will be ready in maximum next 2 weeks. And in the next 2 weeks, then you will have access to the new features and the new phase of the Deduklick. And now you can log in, you can register, and then try it for free. And just to give you an impression how it works. And then also with your data set, you can do it retrospectively or prospectively. You can use one of your data set that you already deduplicated manually. And then also you can use it by deduplicate with the Deduklick, and then compare internally to see that how performs with your own data set. And please don't hesitate to send us the case that you thought that is tricky, that the Deduklick couldn't find it, and then we try always to improve it based on your feedback. How the process works, can you go to the next slide, please? Yeah, as I mentioned, that you can create your account, and then you can always, you have a free trial, then you can try to see if you like it or not. After the free trial, you will get a pop-up message that your free trial finished, and then you can send the email to the support@riskclick.ch, and then specify your need and the package that you would like to buy, and then we set it up for you, and then we create an account in an admin tool for you, and then you can manage everything in an admin tool for yourself. Or you can also, without performing your free trial, you can directly send us an email to the support@riskclick.ch, and then we will support you here and set up your account in an admin tool to enable you to use it.